Morning, everybody. Day 2 of 40, and I just hope that everyone is blessed with their first day yesterday. I hope that you took the time to seek the Lord, hear what He had for you, hear what He has to say to you, because remember, we're doing this 40-day challenge. We're here because we are here to claim God's given promises to us. We are here to pursue God's given dreams that we have in our hearts. We are here because we want to seize God's ordained opportunities. So that is why we're here. We are believing in God to do great things. He is a big God and He can do amazing things. We see it all around us every day, just the art and the beauty of His creation. So I want to encourage you that when we look at God, we know that nothing is too big for Him and nothing is too small for Him. And God is involved in all the details. So as we trust in Him with our faith, He will help us take those giant leaps and step into what He has for us. And with that said, I want to start off with day 2 in Mark's book, Draw the Circle. And he starts off by letting us know that we are established by God. So in the hearts of humans, we plan our course, but the Lord establishes our steps. And that's in Proverbs 16:9. So keep that in your heart today. Make that your focus, your memory verse, so that you are constantly remembering that whatever you plan when you're trusting in the Lord, because you know what you heard from Him, you know the promises He gave you, you know what He's put in your heart. As you pray for that, know that as you plan your day, God is establishing your steps. With that said, as of yesterday, I want to pick off where we left off, and I'm going to start by one of the stories that Mark shares in his book. He wrote a book that he comes to the Lord for. Each book that he comes to the Lord for, he prays and asks God to put his books in the right hands and at the right time. Because when he prays this, he prays believing that when his books show up at the right hands at the right time, it could save marriages, it can avert a mistake, it can demand a decision, it can cause people to plant seeds, conceive a dream, solve a problem, and prompt a prayer. That is something he believes that God, that his books will have divine appointments with the people who read them. That is his prayer. So he believes that when a book is sold, it's actually a prayer that's been answered. So as he reads his emails by people who read his books, there was a man named Peter who was on a flight reading one of his books. And in that book, he read this statement. The statement is, God is in the business of strategically positioning us in the right place at the right time. But it's up to us to see and seize those opportunities that are all around us all the time. So while he read that first chapter, his plane after started transitioning. So he got off the plane, went to another plane because he was flying over to Phoenix. And when he sat down, he had this heavy on his heart. And when he sat down and greeted the young lady next to him, he received the response that kind of like shut him off. But he could tell there was something wrong. He, inside of him, decided, I'm going to seize a moment. I believe this is a divine appointment. So he, put his pride aside, faced his fear, and turned around and asked the young lady that was next to him, since he recognized that there was something wrong. He had shared with her as he leaned over, I know it's absolutely none of my business, but you seem so burdened. If sharing it with a complete stranger might help, I'm all ears. This young girl shared that she had stolen her dad's credit card, was headed to Vegas, and she was going to have an abortion without her parents knowing. This man had the opportunity to encourage her and comfort her, and spoke to her and encouraged her to talk to her parents about this situation. And when she did that, her parents were worried. They asked her to come back home and that they would work all those things out. So just that moment that he decided to step up, believing that what God placed in his heart was for a reason, and took the courage to speak up, he most likely saved a life. And that alone just tells us what the power of prayer is. And it encourages us to take courage. It encourages us to see past ourselves, and it encourages us to just step up to a new level of thinking. And really, that's a big part of love, because love is, not just doing things for other people, but love is so much deeper, where you can actually sense something because God is putting that in your heart, and you're just stepping out in faith, and sacrificing a little bit of your comfort zone to do so, to be able to bless someone else to blossom. So with that said, I wanted to leave you today with a prayer, and wanted to encourage you as you come before the Lord. Ask God to put these big dreams. Don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to claim, as you read the Bible, claim some of those promises. Make them yours. Declare them out loud. Trust in the Lord that those are for you. And I'm going to just pray over you and ask that you are encouraged during your time with the Lord, that you hear what he places in your heart, that you trust in him and have the courage to step in faith, what he has for you, so that you may align, and so that when you continue to pray, that you are praying the promises he has for you. You are praying the dreams he's put in your heart, and you are just pursuing it in a way that knows it is already yours. It is time for us to see God in a new light. So I pray that God opens your eyes to see him in a new way, with a new perspective, with new lens, that just encourages you, that gives you energy, and that the vision before you motivates you. I ask this in the name of Christ Jesus, and I will see you tomorrow.